Welcome to The Business Behind Your Business, the podcast where we delve into the financial strategies and insights that drive success for small and medium-sized business owners. I'm your host, Paul Sweeney, and in each episode we bring you expert guests who share practical advice, real-world experiences, and actionable tips to empower you on your business journey. Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur or just starting out, get ready to uncover the secrets to success and gain valuable insights into the business behind your business. Okay, so the Beatles classic from 1965, Help. And we've all been there as, even if you're not a Beatles fan, you'll be familiar with the lyrics, you would have heard it. It's used in advertising, it's popular catchphrase. But as a business owner particularly, you would have found yourself saying, help, I need somebody. But you don't just want anybody to help you, you need the right person to help you. So where do we find them? Where do we go? At the moment, we're finding that resources are scarce. It's very hard to find the right person. And traditional ways of looking at filling our capacity, our ability to provide services and products to our customers, they're really under strain and they're not working the way that they used to. So we need to think outside the box. Think new. And when I'm saying new, what we're about to talk about is not really that new, but we're still very much afraid to put our feet in the water sometimes because we're not fully understanding. So hopefully we're going to dispel those myths and look at who is the right person to help me. Now, the right person to help me explore this topic is Mia Juan. Mia is the founder of the Next Level Assistance, but also she knows this topic inside out really well. She's the expert that the experts go to get help on how to become a virtual assistant and what to look for. So Mia, welcome to the microphone.
Hi. Hello, everyone. It's so nice to meet you, Paul. And thank you so much for inviting me here. Hello, everyone.
It's great to have you here. And look, I'm really excited about this because, look, what we're about is helping business owners create, sustain, grow great, profitable, efficient businesses that, without the stress. And one of the biggest issues for most business owners is there is so much to do. There are so many roles, so many hats, but they don't have time. And what we see a lot of is people who think that they've got to become the marketing expert, the administrator, the software guy, the website guy. They're trying to do too many things, but really they need the right person in that role. And look, the whole idea of virtual assistants, there's a little bit of, some business owners are still very much afraid of that concept. But look, let's jump in and say, what actually is a virtual assistant and how can it help a business owner? Because I think we need to dispel the myth of what it actually is first.
Yes, so that's definitely a great question to start, explaining what virtual assistants are. So virtual assistants are basically your assistants offshore. And these are people who really trained about how to do inbox management, calendar management, travel management, admin work, data entry. So these people are trained to do that, especially us here in the Philippines. And we also train our virtual assistants to understand our clients' business. And we match them specifically to what the clients need. So we try to understand first what are the client's pain points. And then from what we understand from the discovery call or what the client pain points are, that's when we start matching them to the best virtual assistant. And then we have different virtual assistants from different niches. So for example, we have virtual assistants who are expert in social media management or SEO or marketing or Facebook ads, or virtual assistants who are expert in real estate industry or podcast management. So we provide them with different virtual assistants in different niches or specialties. So that's what virtual assistants basically are. They are the Jack and Jill of all trades. They'll be able to do anything for you as long as we give them time for training as well as understanding your business.
Look, one of those concerns that people have raised with me for not using a virtual assistant are some of the things that you've just mentioned. So things like time for training, understanding the business, communication. And look, we were talking before we started recording today, and some of the concerns that people raise for not using a virtual assistant are lack of training, time dependency, communication. they're the same issues I see business owners struggle with when they're hiring a full-time face-to-face employee. They don't give them the training, they don't give them the time, they don't communicate well, they don't give them good, clear instructions, and it's no difference. But a lot of virtual assistants have got those skilled areas. They've gone through the training, they've been vetted, they've been trained. How does that work to overcome those concerns?
Well, that's where we actually come in. So I'm a founder of Executive Virtual Assistant Philippines as well as Next Level Assist. So that's where our expertise come in. We provide the training. We provide the management for the virtual assistants. So we would like to take away the fear from the clients that they'll start looking for virtual assistants directly. And they are not sure if this virtual assistant really did train because they just rely on what the virtual assistant said. But with Next Level Assist, that's where we provide them with security, that we vet them. You're partnering with Next Level Assist as a whole. We will do all of the sourcing for you. We will conduct the training for you. We will conduct the managing of the virtual assistant for you. So it's like you're getting a whole team. You're not just getting one person. You're getting a whole team of virtual assistant plus a manager of that virtual assistant to make sure that that manager will understand your business as well as coach, train, upskill, and then make sure that the virtual assistant is also doing the job well. And the security of, for example, the virtual assistant that was matched for you, unfortunately, is probably after a few months, we've realized that it's not a good match. We will provide you with a replacement. So we will not leave you hanging like, okay, if it doesn't work, goodbye, look for your own. So it's not like that. We provide the training and then we will also make sure that if it doesn't work out, we give you the replacement. So we provide you with the security that it's not just like one trial. If it doesn't work, that's it. It's like the whole experience from training from sourcing to training to managing them and upskilling them, as well as if needs a replacement, then we will provide that replacement as well.
Yeah, that's a great way of looking at it, because I think there is that fear that what if I get the wrong person, or are they actually trained, and how do I know that, and who's going to manage that process for me, particularly if we're looking at somebody in another country who's doing the work for us. How do we control that? How do we manage it? And so what you're doing there is you're taking away all of those issues, those concerns, because you're looking after it. You're making sure that everybody has got the training. They are who they say they are. They are the right person to do that role for your business. If they're not the right person, well, let's find the right person and put them in. So if we compare that to hiring a full-time person, so you've got the time and expense of finding that person and hiring them. Are they going to have all the skills that you need? Well, you've still got to go through and vet that. And maybe they don't have that. You still got to invest time in training them.
Yes.
You've got to see how they fit in.
Yeah.
You've got to manage them yourself, or
Yes.
you've got to have somebody else in your team manage them. You've got to review their work. You've got to review their performance. You've got to identify what they need. It's a big and costly exercise. And we've gone through the process, and going back to one of our episodes from late last year or early last year, looking at the cost of actually onboarding an employee is over $20,000, which
That's
is
really
quite
expensive.
exorbitant, really, when you think about
Yes.
it. And the other thing is, you'll hire one person and expect them to be able to fill multiple different roles and functions, particularly in a small business where you don't have a lot of resources for headcount, but you might need, say, 5 different functions filled. Is one full-time person going to do that? Well, here, from what I'm hearing from you, and correct me if I'm wrong, that by going through a virtual assistant agency like a Next Level Assistant, what you will get is, I guess, the right components or the right assistance with the right skill level to do the tasks that you need done correctly and efficiently.
Yes, that's actually correct. So you get the whole package wherein you just don't get the virtual assistant and that employee that you need, but you also get like the managing team that handles the whole agency. And then you also mentioned about hiring full time. I mean, with the rise of remote work for the past few years since the start of the pandemic, we've seen a lot of companies transition to work from home. So hiring someone offshore who definitely will save a lot of expenses from, then it's just hiring somebody from your local country and having them work from home. It's just like that. But the thing with this is you save up a lot of from training, you save a lot from equipment, from office setup and all of those things, because you're hiring somebody who already has their own equipment, who already has the training that was provided by the agency. So you save a lot from hiring offshore and hiring a virtual assistant that will be able to do all of the work that you need, as long as of course it's within their working hours.
And look, going back years ago, and look, I think that's still the same. I don't think it's really changed in a traditional workforce. But you would argue that an employee was not fully effective or productive for you for at least 3 months in a new role. Which, when you think about it, it's actually really poor business management to have a key resource, and you're taking 3 months before they're actually effective. But if you've got somebody hired with the skills, the training all ready to go, then
Yes.
you don't have that period where you're paying for a resource that's not productive. They're productive right from the beginning.
Yes, that's correct. Because the training that we have here is teaching them about the foundations of what a virtual assistant is. So we train them with data entry, inbox management, calendar management, travel management, and household management. So all of the things that they would need to equip them to become a successful VA, we train them in that. We train them in different tools as well. We train them in Google Workspace, CRMs like Zoho, ClickUp, Notion, HubSpot. We train them on all of these things. We also train them on how to use Canva, how to use video editing tools. So all of the tools that a lot of clients are using on a daily basis, we already train them in advance. So prior to us even looking for a client and matching a client to a virtual assistant, we've already trained our virtual assistant. Like with Executive Virtual Assistant Philippines, I have a training module that is 16 hours worth of video tutorials, wherein I train them from inbox data entry up until how to look for a client, how to prepare for an interview, how to create their resumes, and all of those things. So they are equipped even before us looking for a client. And then once we have a client, we understand first through a discovery call what the client needs, what their business is, what are the tools that they use. And then once we know the needs of the client, then we add on a training to upskill them if they are not upskilled on that yet, before we launch that VA and transition or turn them over to our client.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds great. So what are the most common, I guess, functions that businesses will engage a VA for?
Well, first off would be data management or data entry. We start off with the basics, like customer service management, wherein they answer emails, they answer phone calls, and then we go level up into calendar management, where they manage the calendar of their clients, like set up meetings, arrange the calendar to be optimized. Like they will find out, okay, client, what is your goal for your business or your personal life? And then based on your short-term and long-term goal, the virtual assistant will provide you with recommendations on how to optimize your calendar. And they will be the one to champion your calendar. They will be the one to talk to people who would like to meet with you, and they will say, okay, these are the dates that my client is available. And then we also have travel management, wherein they are trained to book flights for you, book hotels. They're like your travel agency. And then we also have social media management. So they know how to create content, they know how to create content calendar, they know how to edit videos. We also have VAs who are trained in podcast management. They can create scripts for you. They can create a lot of marketing for you. We have virtual assistants that are also trained, when I mentioned marketing, SEO, trained in Facebook ads, how to do advertisement on Google or on TikTok or any social media that you have. So anything that you can delegate to a virtual assistant or to anyone, our virtual assistants are basically trained on that. That's because we believe that for a client or for a business to be successful, we've been seeing this in a lot of business owners who also have content online, that for your business to grow, you should learn how to delegate. You should learn how to trust someone else so that you can grow. So that's how we train our virtual assistants. And we don't just train them for the client to delegate, but we train them to teach the client how to delegate. Because some clients don't know how to delegate, especially if it's the first time they hire a VA. And then we also teach our VAs how to identify things that they can delegate to themselves. That's how we approach the way that a virtual assistant can help you.
Yeah, that's great. Because I think a lot of business owners, one of their biggest downfalls is that they think they have to do everything themselves,
That's
and
right.
they don't let go. So learning to delegate is a skill that most small business owners really struggle with, need a lot of help with. And when they do learn to delegate effectively, it releases a lot of pressure because they're not doing tasks that, well, they don't have the skills to do themselves, and they don't necessarily need to be doing them in their business.
That's so true. That's why a lot of clients really do start growing when they learn how to delegate and learn how to was this release that control of, I can do this, I can do this better, I can do this better than my VA. So for your VA to actually do it just like you need to invest time to your VA and teach them how you do things. Invest in getting your VA to know you better, know how you do things. That's why we always inform our clients to, especially at the beginning of the relationship, let's say for the first 3 months, is to provide all of the information to your VA. Like, okay, this is how I set up my email. This is how I communicate with my colleagues or my business partners. That's how we tell them to always make your VA a part of your life, like create Loom videos or leave a voice message instead of just an email, because sending a voice message will actually help you save a lot of time, as well as make your message come clearly across to your virtual assistants. Because one of the things is not just the delegation that we try to teach our or help our clients with, but at the core of it all, we want to give back more time to our clients once they hire a VA from us. We want to give back more time for them to spend with family, or more time for them to really build their business, for them to be on their business and not in their business. That's what the core of our goal is in providing help or providing virtual assistance for clients.
Yeah, great messaging there. That so many business owners, they say they want that business with freedom to spend time with their family, to do the things that really matter to them, but they're so much invested in the business, doing the
Yes.
day to day, and not taking that step back and working on. We've heard so recently. We've had Garrett Delph and Bradley Hamner talking about this, and particularly Garrett was talking about this whole issue of business owners micromanaging their
Mhm.
teams and just controlling too much, and having to learn to let go of that, and instead focusing on the instruction and the delegation and the communication to, I guess, empower your team to do the best job that they can using the skills that they have that you don't have. So learning to do that and learning to actually design a system that works to the best advantage. I think, and it tends to be, look, I'm going to confess here, it's a male, men have more of a problem with this than our female counterparts. We seem to think that if we're not seen as being the people making the decisions and doing the hard work, then something's wrong. But I think we need to let go of that ideal and say, right, there is somebody that can do that job far better than I can. I have to let them do that.
That's right. You really have to learn how to let go for your business to grow. If you look at a lot of big CEOs, what they always say is they learned how to delegate. And once they learned how to delegate, that's when their business really grew. So you really have to learn how to let go of micromanaging your team, especially when we talk about virtual assistants. There are a lot of clients that even if they hire VAs, they want to be with the VA in a Zoom meeting for the whole 8 hours. That's not going to work. That's not going to be productive on the client's end. And that's going to be a very stressful and a toxic environment for the virtual assistant. So you need to be able to learn how to trust. And I know it's going to be hard for the first time, especially if this is the first time you're hiring a VA offshore. But that's why it's very nice to I'm not saying avoid was his hiring direct, but I think if it's your first time hiring a virtual assistant, it's nice to partner with a virtual assistant company because you are secured with this company. You have all of their documents. They have a legal business. They will give you the standard, the type of virtual assistant standard that you want to have in your company. And they will provide the training and all of those things for you. And that will actually give you a little bit more, was this trust to the company because you have a whole team working for you and not just one person, not just one virtual assistant. You have the virtual assistant manager, you have the hiring team, you have the training team, you have your finance team. So you actually, just by hiring one VA, you've actually hired a whole department and actually multiple departments in your team because you have the training team of the VA agency, you have the finance, you have the HR, you have the social media. So all of those things you already have. So you just really need to learn how to delegate, and our VAs are trained to teach you how to delegate as well.
Yeah, that's great. So, Mia, if I'm a business owner and I want to get started, walk me through the process of what I need to do to get up and running.
Great question. So, if you are a business owner and you want to hire a virtual assistant, you can reach out to us. For example, you would like to partner with Next Level Assist. You're going to reach out to us and we're going to schedule a discovery call. During that discovery call, we have a set of questions to find out what are your pain points, what are your needs in your business, and what your business is. And then we would also have questions on understanding what are your long term goals. And these long term goals are not just for your business, but for your personal long term goals as well. Because we want our VAs to help you holistically. We want them to be able to help you in your personal and your professional goals. So once we have the answers to that discovery call, that's when we start to look for the virtual assistant that is best fit and best match for you. And then once we have those three candidates, we will actually provide you with the top three candidates of from our VA pool, and then we will provide you with their profile. We will provide you with their introduction video as well as their profile so that you will be able to choose who you think is a best match for you, especially when you also want to consider their personality or their characteristic. And then once you've chosen your virtual assistant, then we will schedule a meeting with you and your virtual assistant, and that's what we call an onboarding call. And then your assistant will be the one to properly onboard you, meaning they have a set of questions or checklists that they will go through to properly onboard you with the tools that they need to have access to, with the initial task list that they need to do, schedule all of your check-ins for the next 2 weeks. So that's the process. And then once you're done with the onboarding call, that's when we call the virtual assistant is a successful launch. And that is also considered as the first day of the virtual assistant with you, that onboarding call. And then after that, we will, of course, have continuous session for growth. Like we will have feedback sessions with you and ask you for the first month, how is your virtual assistant doing? If we need your virtual assistant to have more coaching and upskilling, we will conduct that. And then that continuously go on throughout the years. If you would like to continuously partner with us, that will go on consistently every month, like the check-ins, the feedback session, and all of those things. And the nice thing also is that we already provide a lot of benefits for your virtual assistant so that they will stay with the agency. We provide them with healthcare. We provide them with coaching. We provide them with sometimes we provide them with equipment, bonuses. We are the ones who shoulder that.
Yeah, that's great. Look, that seems a very I guess, comprehensive process. And look, I keep coming back to this. When we hire traditionally, we skip a lot of those steps that we should be doing anyway. But I think that's a very comprehensive process. And look, if I'm going through that, I'm going to be a lot more confident in the outcome. I'm going to be a lot more secure about what I'm getting involved with, and I'm going to have some certainty there. In terms of how much commitment is there from a business owner? So we're talking about saving time, but like, how much commitment is required for the business owner in terms of, I guess, their time in terms of liaising with the VA and communicating? And also, I guess the other question that our listeners would be asking is, what's my minimum commitment in terms of how many hours do I need to have a VA for as a minimum?
Well, for Next Level Assist, we have two. So we have full time and part time. Part time is 4 hours a day and 8 hours per day for full time. So that's the commitment that we require our clients to choose from. And then in terms of how much the investment is. So for full time, that's 1,799 USD or US dollars. And for part time, that's 699 US dollars. So we can just convert that in AUD. And that's in terms of the hours that the client would invest in their time. The first one would be the discovery call, which takes about an hour. And then the onboarding call is about an hour as well, depending on how the client wants to also continuously onboard the VA during that time. And then succeeding after the onboarding call is probably about 30 minutes a month for the feedback session that we will ask the client to provide us so that we can properly coach and upskill the virtual assistant. But if the client would like to have more time with us and to provide more feedback, especially at the beginning of the partnership, we are always available for our clients.
Yeah, no, that's great. Look, Mia, I think one of the things that I've been, very well, honestly, I now understand so much better what's involved in the process. I think, going through that process and listening to what you've said takes away a lot of that fear about getting involved, a lot more clarity, and I think a lot more confidence in what outcomes can be achieved here. And when you work through the arguments and the explanations you've given us, I think it's pretty much, it's a guaranteed no-brainer that this is a genuine, legitimate option, and perhaps the option that you should be considering as a business owner.
Yes, of course, especially if you are a startup and you're still trying to save up and not really invest too much into your team. This is definitely a great option for you.
Yeah, fantastic. Look, Mia, what's the best way for our listeners to get in contact with you if they would like to investigate this further and perhaps engage you and your teams to help them grow great businesses?
So yeah, you can reach us, or you can first drop into our website. So that's nextlevelassistph.com. You can find all of the information that you need in that website. We also have booking link for you to book an initial call or a discovery call with us. So everything that you need is on that website. If you would like to directly reach out to me, then you can also reach out to me through Mia1 at themjph.com. And then everything, I believe, will be provided in the link.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be putting all of that contact information in the show notes and on the businessbehindyourbusiness.com website, available for you. And look, encourage you to, if you're listening and you'd like to see more, then pop over to our YouTube. But look, also check out Mia Juan's YouTube. We've 90,000 or more than 90,000 subscribers. Look, if you weren't sure that she knows what she's talking about, that's enough proof for you. To me, that's I'm looking at that going, that's staggering, but that's great. And look, you've obviously, what I can see from that is that you give back so much. You've got the quality there. This is not just somebody in another country saying that you should go into this. This is somebody that's done a lot of effort, proven systems, proven processes, proven outcomes. I encourage you to have a closer look at Mia and Next Level Assist, and look, reassess your view of using virtual assistants, because I think it is a definite tool that small business owners should embrace and use to their advantage as well. So, Mia, it's been an absolute delight having you on the podcast, and we're really appreciative of your time, and thank you for the clarity of explaining and dispelling some of the myths that have been around virtual assistants.
Thank you so much, Paul. It's been a great time talking to you here in your podcast.
Yep. Thank you very much. We'll catch you next time. We might tap into Mia in the future for some more expertise, because look, I think we've just scratched the surface on some of the ways that we can really help business owners today.
Yes. Perfect. Thank you so much.
That's a wrap for this episode of The Business Behind Your Business. We hope you found today's discussion insightful and valuable for your business journey. Before we go, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on your favourite platform. Share it with fellow business owners who could benefit, and send in your burning questions because we love hearing from you. Missed any of our previous episodes or looking for additional resources to help grow your business? Head over to our website at thebusinessbehindyourbusiness.com. There you'll find our full archive of past episodes along with show notes, transcripts, and links to valuable resources mentioned in each episode. Your journey to business success continues at thebusinessbehindyourbusiness.com. Until next time, stay inspired, stay informed, and keep building the business of your dreams.